No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You never.
Come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right. We're back. Again. More sim racing. Hopefully improvements to both games. RaceRoom with a content update. They added the Mustang, which is the main reason I was interested in the update. It does look like there's no real changes to the game other than a new HUD, which I'm all for, by the way, because I would say iRacing and RaceRoom are probably the two games where the HUDs feel archaic, especially RaceRoom. New HUD, let's see what that looks like. Some new GT3 cars. I wasn't sure if I was going to play it today because I noticed the ranked roster hadn't moved. They did update it, so now that there's some GT3 in it. PMR had a hotfix where they fixed some potential problems. I always feel like sim racing and streaming it is like its own niche little, like, reporting the news. Hey, look what bad shit's happened over here. Meanwhile, over here, look at all this bad shit going on. I just want my video games to feel complete. One day. All right. Positivity hat on. What's going on, Rob? What's going on, Digi? You don't sleep? I slept. I slept for about 5 hours. I need a lot more sleep when I'm very, very physical. When I'm doing the sim racing thing a lot, it usually means I'm not being very physical other than move my arms. So, the plan is this. We're going to start with RaceRoom. We're going to check out RaceRoom. We're going to try and do a couple ranked races if possible. And then we're also going to jump over to PMR and see what their hotfix brought. Mainly what it fixed, because it's obviously a hotfix. In fact, let's read the patch notes on the hotfix first. Fixed various issues that could cause crashes for some players. Vague, but okay. Fix an issue where the relative time widget would not display time gaps correctly during an online race. Thank God. That was... I feel like that was like, why? That's such a crucial fix because it's a problem that shouldn't happen. Anyway, either way, got it. Cool. Online. I guess that... Okay. Fix an issue in ranked racing which caused players to hang when navigating menus. Okay. Custom lobby host can now limit the maximum numbers of players that can join. This guy says, add bots to custom lobbies next, please. Please no. I don't want 800 more bugs. I just want what's there to work. Please no. AI. Is the AI cheating? No, the AI is just not properly scaled because all you do is play GT3. Anyway. Have I changed the setup since the patch? Damage causing more than... That's possible. Anything's possible with PMR. That's the thing. Like, literally anything is possible. So my RS50, the only thing I changed since the patch was I did do a firmware update. Force feedback still feels the same. It still feels good, but where it's more muted than it was before is the vibrations, which the audio vibrations, because they implemented True Force, and it's like a half measure. It doesn't work like another game's True Force. It's very vague, very muted. So I do notice that it does feel like lesser, but you have to understand the vibration is audio-based, and force feedback is physics-based, based off of what the game's telling you and the car's doing. They are separate things. However, like if you were to have like ACC True Force turned up to 11, and then you get used to that, and then you just turn off True Force, it feels like your force feedback went away. So, me personally, I need my vibrations because that's my curve feel, that's road texture. There's so much there that's delivered through audio. Update on RaceRoom is good. I'm worried about the Mustang audio because I watched Overtake's video and that Mustang did not sound like a Mustang. And I know can't judge an entire game or whatever on it but we'll see. So let's yeah, why not? Let's do Nord supposedly got a buff. I already purchased everything. Everything's all set on my end. There's guys. Go race. Turn some of this music down a little bit. The audio with the Mustang. Honestly, AC Evo is the only ones to completely nail the Mustang GT3. I don't know why everybody struggles with the Mustang GT3. Every human being can discern a Mustang in the distance when they hear one. Like, it's a very, very, very unique sound. So how these sims are just like way off base is I don't know. And I know audio is only one aspect. It's not everything, but it's a big part of the separation in the cars, you know? Like, in my opinion, and I think in this regard, I'm pretty damn right. If you go play AC Evo and jump in their Mustang GT3, that is 1-for-1 the real car. Or pretty damn close to the real thing. And that's coming from someone with a lot of Coyote Mustang experience. Like, the PMR car doesn't sound like a Mustang. I'm going to let these cars drive away from me. New HUD looks good. I'm liking the new HUD. Yeah, Grumps, I'll be doing that second half. I definitely got to lower the volume of the other cars. That was loud as sin. Also, the overall volume. General. Master volume, that's what. Gotta do that because that's loud as hell. Let's go 40. Player volume, opponent car. Let's turn that down even more because god damn, that was loud. Alright, let's try that. Grogene? What is Grogene? Some simfluencer? The Aston as well is a very distinct sound and upshift, which is missing on board, but is more off board. Alright, so let's throw some free revs at it. Because just the free revving alone on AC Evo, you know it's a Mustang. feel like RaceRoom has a lot of the same issues AMS2 has with lack of suspension. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to be hitting those curbs, but just feels like there is zero suspension in hitting those curbs. Zero dampening whatsoever. So now that I just turned my multiplier down, I gotta go turn off the main gain setting for force feedback. Where is it? Controls, force feedback. Put you... Whoop. Nope. 100%. That's where I want you. This is not a Mustang sound, like at all. This might actually be the worst Mustang audio file I've ever heard. What the... What? RaceRoom, you have so much ammunition from other sims. Wow. I mean, I know I was in third right there, but holy moly. Okay, that's way too much force feedback now. So 100%. Let's go 80. Try 80. Make sure our multiplier is still at 100%. It drives like a RaceRoom car. I'm not really complaining about that. However you think about RaceRoom driving, it drives like a RaceRoom car. I like the RaceRoom driving. I know driving simulation is extremely subjective. Like me, I personally am not an LMU fan. I've said that many times. There are aspects to their driving that I think is really good, but there are other aspects that I think is spicy hot diarrhea. I just wish every game was as, like, sort of as finished as LMU is in its current state at the moment. But driving specifically, this drives like a RaceRoom car, which, again, I don't mind. But that's why you gotta just get a Mustang and build the baddest one you can, the most unique, badass specimen of a Mustang. This thing's got long-ass legs. I cannot lug it at all. This thing does not accelerate. I like the HUD, though. The HUD is a massive improvement. It actually looks like it's something from, you know, this decade. What I don't like, though, is I still think RaceRoom's force feedback, it's just missing information. That's the best way I can explain it. It's not that I think the information here is bad. It's that there are things happening on screen, and my wheel is like this right here. Dude, I'm lugging in second. Look at this. What is happening? Has anybody else noticed that? I was to the wood right there in second gear, and it was lugging and wanting to slow down. Even third right here. Look at this. I'm floored. Does this thing have insanely long... Is it geared for like 200 miles an hour out of the box? Did I miss that? I'm really not trying to be picky right now. I'm noticing some very strange things. Let me get to the back straight. But yeah, I do, and I've thought this always about RaceRoom's force feedback. It really does feel very minimalistic. Like, it's enough to get good at the game and be competitive and drive, but if you play a more modern title that has a lot of force feedback detail, this game just doesn't have it. It's just missing information. Which, again, it's okay. You get used to it. Well, you have to understand, too, though, Matt. LMU is getting a lot of praise from IRL drivers because they're also paid to. Sponsorships, things like that. You have to grain of salt everything. I've also seen plenty of videos where I can reference of GT3 drivers who are not famous play LMU and go, well, that's not right. For example, LMU's traction control, their TC system is in fact broken and it doesn't work right. It does not work like TC should work. You can push right through it, and you shouldn't be able... If you turn all TC settings up to absolute maximum, you should not be able to spin tire ever. Ever. No matter what. Like, for example, in LMU, I can park my nose up against the wall with full TC and just do a burnout. That's not how TC works. Alright, here we go. Let's see what the long-legged gearness of this is. Quick, on a calculator, what's 265K? Translate to in mile per hour. This thing might need a final drive change, big time. Which, for any kind of fixed setups, this car might be, like... Let's just see. Let's roll it down here. Where's my RPM? That felt fine in first. Lugging it in second. Like, I'm floored! Yeah, I don't know if they got the power band of this motor wrong or what, but... Look how this thing accelerates out of second right now. Ready, I'm gonna put it to the wood. Third gear. I can power out here in third. Lazy. Look at this. I have been locked in third this whole time. I haven't let up. Obviously, I crashed because I haven't let up. But, like... Come on. How'd they screw up the Mustang, man? Floored. Third. I have to wonder if I don't even know if it's gearing. I think it's like it's almost like it's as little torque as the 5. Oh, this is a 5.4, which means it'd have even more torque. But as little torque as the 5-liter has in real life, that feels like they chopped it in half. It feels like they made it a rotary power band. Let's try a different car because I don't want to. Admittedly, that slightly frustrated me. All right, let's try the, where is it? Murario, however you say that. Admittedly, I don't know enough about this car to judge it, but let's see if it at least is more fun. The Mustang does not sound right. Agreed, for sure. There's no doubt the audio of the Mustang is just wrong. The thing is, the Ford, it's not that the gearing actually felt long there. That's why 165 in the backstretch, that's felt pretty normal, you know? But it felt like the motor does not have the power down low, like at all. It really feels like they turned that motor into some form of a rotary power band. Temerario. You know, if they used another car and put the Mustang frame on top of it, it's possible. You guys are going to have to tell me how this sounds by comparison. I don't know this car's sound. Mustang, I can judge the shit out of this. This is on you guys. I don't know. I'm going to let them go so we can actually hear the car a little bit. I mean, I already like driving this better than the Mustang. Just in these couple turns, I already like it better than the Mustang. Which is awesome! That was sarcasm, that awesome right there. I love the Mustang. I don't know why, it always sucks. I actually like the Mustang in LMU, believe it or not. There's a lot of cars in LMU that I don't like, but I like the Mustang in LMU. I like it better in AC Evo. I think AC Evo absolutely has done the best job with the Mustang. This car actually drives really good. I'm liking this one. Yeah, same transmission audio, I agree. It does seem like it's a generic gear whine sound. That being said, though, I do think this car is doing everything better than the Mustang did. Oh, look. Dumb AI gonna do dumb AI shit. Jesus. What? Pick your favorite sim that you're critical of, their AI, and just look at every other sim. Everybody's AI sucks. I don't know why. Like, that's the thing. This car has way more low RPM power. I just lugged it in 4th gear and it ate. The Mustang does not want to do it. Let's see how 3rd feels right here. That was better. Nothing magnificent, but definitely better than the Mustang. You can hear the turbo spool. I do like that. I'm a bit of a car nerd, though, so turbos, you know. So far, this car has in every way done a better job than the Mustang. It's got lack of detail, War Dog. That's kind of the problem. This is a decent sound. This reminds me of the a little bit of the 296 GTB. For comparison, let me jump real quick. I'm just going to get rid of the AI. They're kind of brain dead right now. I mean, they are turned all the way down, but... do a practice session. The thing that kills me, right, is that this car, the Ford GT, the GT1 variant, bro, they nailed the 5.4 liter non-Coyote built motor sound. Like, it's perfect. So how they dropped the ball on the Mustang GT3, which is more popular right now, I have no idea. Let's hope if enough people... The problem is I don't think enough people are going to care. I just don't think enough people care about that shit. Oh, I didn't mean to get on that track. Oh well, it's just an audio test anyway. The Lambo felt pretty good. I very much approve of the Temerario. God, I sound like so weird saying it like that. Or just saying it, I should say. Alright, so let's see how this one sounds. Oh yeah, we gotta get... Temerario. It's a Ferrari. It's a Michael Schumacher Ferrari. Clamato. Clamato. I can't. Since he told me that, I can't say. So I've always said clamato. I've always said tomato. But I do believe there's only one way to say things. And I asked. And he said it's tomato. Like, shit! So now I have to say tomato and clamato. And I have to say it with the head twist and the emphasis. All right, practice. 2026. So let's see. They added the Porsche, but let's go to the Aston Martin. I don't really care much about the Porsche audio. Go Watkins Glen because I don't know why this track is missing in just so many games. It just I think the problem is that there's so many good American tracks. I mean, there's good tracks all over the world, but obviously being an American, I notice the American stuff usually first. And there's just so many good short tracks. I feel like Laguna Seca, Sebring, Daytona, Watkins Glen, those 4 American tracks need to be in every sim every time, no matter what. Alright, so this is, what are we gonna get into? The Aston. Alright, Slick, pay attention. This one's for you. This game does look really good in third person. I don't ever use it, but it does look really good in third person. Yeah, I always try and tell people, too, when it comes to exterior audio sound, it should always kind of sound like shit. Because you have to understand, it's loud as hell, and it's always going to peak the microphone. If it sounds like Gran Turismo 7, where it sounds really clean, that's not right. But this is where I'm like, I don't mind the exterior sound. This I actually don't know. Admittedly, I don't fangirl over this car like a lot of people do. That's why I asked you, Slick. But to me, this doesn't sound like this car inside. Drives good, though. So far, I think the Mustang's still the worst one. Yeah. It's also just the Mustang 2 that is nutless in the low revs. Like, it is nutless. Like, doing what I just did right there, the Mustang would have went nowhere. I would have had to have grabbed second gear. Yeah, I think you might have saw that in my stream when I spun out at Bathurst. I recognized that right away. The problem is that once I started to slide, the tires went up to like 300 degrees. And the bug was that, well, not only was the bug that they went up to 300 degrees, but they kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I really think that a lot of the complaints about the tires right now on PMR's GT3 is actually bugs. Not the tire model itself, but there's something wrong that's creating a bug. It's happened to me several times. Because then you'll simultaneously get people saying that the cars in the GT3s in PMR have way too much grip. So... this is such a weird one. I gotta get rid of that spam bot channel. I don't know. Come on, turbos! It's definitely there. Yeah. The thing that I don't understand about it is, like, here's the thing. I have some sympathy for the multiplayer stuff, like multiplayer bugs in PMR, because it's so hard to test that on a grand scale. But, like, the tire bug is the type of bug where you could get in the car by yourself and drive around and create that problem. Not saying it's going to happen all the time, but I'm saying you can duplicate that problem without going online, you know? So, I don't know. I have less sympathy for that one, to be honest with you. And there's a lot I like about PMR. Admittedly, as much as I do support them, I am very much losing patience with the bug side of things. I don't mind content. I have no complaints about content, actually. I have no complaints about the way any of the... do I think all the cars drive perfectly? No. Do I think that should be the thing that's always talked about with PMR? Absolutely not. And it's always what gets talked about. Dude, you gotta dial the game in. There's just bugs out the ass, man. Out the ass. That just don't exist in other sims. Every sim drives different, and everybody has a different opinion. Like, the fact that in PMR right now, people are simultaneously talking about how the new GT3s slide like crazy and are undrivable because of that, or are way too gripped up and unrealistic, and they're driving the same shit. Who's right? Who's wrong? Doesn't matter. Fix the bugs. That affects everybody. Factory driver challenge. Completely useless if fastest lap times aren't saving for people. That mode, by that one bug alone, is completely broken and useless. Doesn't matter how the cars drive in that mode because everybody's driving the same physics. But when people set a new lap record and it doesn't save, that's a bug. That, to me, is so much higher priority than making a car drive a little differently to fit your personal needs. Yesterday, if you guys can go watch in my stream, I drove ACC and I drove PMR. The AMG on Bathurst, back to back and forth. I'm sliding all over the place in ACC by comparison to PMR. Objectively, the AMG had more grip. And I'm being told that the new driving physics of the GT3s have less grip than the ACC cars. I mean, watch my screen. That's just not happening. That was a bad time to pause. Car drives really good. So far, the only thing I don't like about the Aston's the interior audio. That's about the only thing I don't like about it. It's got decent force feedback. This also seems like another game that is very hit or miss on force feedback details in terms of the car. Like, this car feels like it's got way more detail than the Mustang. So far, guys, as a Mustang fan, poor entry. All right, so I mean, I approve of that. Not that you guys asked, but that car's drives good. I like it. Let's try the Porsche. So they added, from my understanding, well, technically this whole pack is new, but the 4 new cars were the Aston, Lambo, Ford, and the Porsche. So see, my thing is like when it comes to driving, say, RaceRoom, PMR, AMS2, all these sims, they're all what I would call within suspension of disbelief. They all do things differently, and they all technically should be exactly the same, essentially, but that's fine. They all drive a little differently, and they're all within suspension of disbelief. Certain characteristics, and I think LMU's in that boat too, but there are certain characteristics of when cars go past peak grip. Like right now, the bug in PMR where the cars keep sliding, that's objectively a bug, is normal operation in iRacing and LMU. That's normal. When you spin out, you just go for a long-winded ride. There's a reason why iRacing is called ice racing. Because once you go past the limit and you lose control of the car, you just keep sliding. And that's where it's like, a car like this wouldn't slide. It would stop so much sooner in the slide. It's like the tires literally osmosis themselves into a different kind of tire once you go past peak grip. And it gets really frustrating. That pulls me out of the immersion side of things. But every other sim, while I'm racing and I have the grip, in one way or another, pulls me in and makes me feel like I'm driving a car. They all do. Even, I mean, so far revving it, this is the whether it's accurate or not, this is the best audio of the 4. See what it's like on track, under load. Sounds like a Porsche. Drives really good. It does sound digitized. So it doesn't drive like a Porsche. I don't know, man. Every Porsche I've ever driven in real life, which admittedly I've never driven any kind of badass Porsche, have all driven pretty damn good. Porsche. I don't know, man. Having been in the passenger seat of a GT3 RS, an older one at that, I don't think anybody's going to convince me that car drives bad. And that's a street car. Wish I'd have gotten to driven it, but I don't want to drive a car like that when I don't own it. Alright, so this works. So it's just the Mustang I hate. It's just the Mustang I hate. Awesome. The only one I want it to be good is the only one I don't like. Awesome. For example, I know they can make good audio. I know they can do it. I know they can do it. Because they did it with this car. And this is a Ford. And this sounds just like a Ford. It sounds like the old 5.4 that was in the GT. Sounds just like it. Now, if you guys know Fords, you would know the previous GT500 5.4s and the ones that were in the GT. Well, they're all dual overhead cam V8s. And the Coyote motors, which are a different valve event style, the twin independent variable cam timing, Ford's VTEC essentially. They're the same kind of motor, and they have a very, very, very different sound. And they captured this one perfectly. Come on. I must not have it on auto clutch. Thought I had auto clutch on. That right there. That sound right there. That wow, wow sound. That is old Ford. This is a Ford. They got it nailed. I was thinking they were going to crush the Mustang. All right, so I must have it on, so you have to use an actual H pattern. Hold on. I can't have that, because I don't even have a floor clutch hooked up anymore. I got rid of it. Hold on. Sounds like it's break down any minute. What's it under? There's a checkbox. As soon as I turn it off, everything will work like a regular, It must be in our gameplay, maybe. Transmission, manual with auto blip. What are the choices again? Auto clutch is what I want. But that's not. Factory ABS, factory TC. Race line off, show ghost car. There should be something where it says use an actual H pattern or not. I mean, if I have it on auto clutch, it might just work normally. Maybe they got rid of that menu. Let's find out. Alright, so yeah, auto clutch. That's what this car sounds like. They did such a good job on the audio of the Ford GT and dropped the ball so hard on the Mustang. When you lug it. Oh my God, come on. That right there, that wow, that dude, that is this motor. Easy, Ken Miles. I bet guarantee you Ken Miles would hear it in this game. Oh my God. I queef every time I hear it. That's what good audio, good accurate audio does. Nah, it's not. That's only Mustangs, Harry. Ford GTs don't do that. Yep, I said it. Nope, too wide. Exactly. You can't just go to a dealership and finance a Ford GT, that's why. Can hear the valve starting to float at high RPM. I don't know, man. Fun fact. My full stock Coyote street motor, well, technically it was a Roadrunner motor. It was a Boss 302, but, you know, I spun that motor 8,500 RPM. 100% stock. No cams, no nothing. OEM valve train. Just a Cobra Jet intake manifold, and that was all it took. And she loved it. It was weird having the shift light come on at 8,000 RPM in a street car with a stock motor. That was a V8 and not a European car. God, I love driving this car. I forgot how much I love the Ford GT in this game. Let's test crash physics. Well, similar to PMR. Exotic front fart. So, just to remind everybody... Oh, hold on. You just heard that, how accurate and, like, in my opinion, whether you have heard the car or not, you've heard how I just glazed that for being so perfect. For a Ford. Oh, wrong one. Now let's get in the one they just put in the game. Harry, that's somebody with a Hemi says. I want the biggest motor possible that revs the highest RPM. That's what I want to make power with. I want a 600 plus cubic inch big block that spins 10,000 RPM. I'd like to think this car would get an audio buff, but I think we all know that'll never happen. Now, you know how much I have to say about AC Evo? About incomplete it is. Like, PMR gets a lot of shit. AC Evo, in my opinion, is less complete. But, when I roast RaceRoom just now for the audio of that Mustang, I have to do the polar opposite for AC Evo because they hit a home run. They actually gave a shit about a Mustang. I think it's nighttime. It's the last time I used it, but... We're already in the right car. We're already... See, that's the thing. Now, under load has certain sounds the engine will make, but even free revving, you know when you're free revving a car and you know what car it is. This is a motor with twin, independent, variable cam timing, aka a Coyote platform. This is a Mustang. You hear the intake noise. Cold tires, though. Turn that TC all the way up so I can abuse it. TC works! TC works the way it should work. You turn it all the way up, it doesn't matter how fucking cold the tires are anymore. Because it just cuts the power. That's what I don't think people realize about when I complain about LMU's traction control braking. If you turn it all the way up to absolute maximum, how cold the tires are should no longer be a factor. You should just not spin the tires ever because TC is that advanced in real life. So good. Sounds so good. Tires are still ice cold, don't have much grip, but it doesn't matter. Oh, you're right, there's no way they sampled the Mustang for that sound, but the thing is, all they would have had to have done is play any other sim. Because anything would have been better than that. This is a Mustang. I don't know how to drive third person at all. I do hope with full release of this game, they give you the ability to turn off damage. For just like testing purposes, I want to be able to turn off damage. And that's not an AC Evo yet. So I can't. If I'm dicking around and I make the tiniest mistake, I gotta go back to pit and start over. No, this is currently AC Evo. I'm just showing off the Mustang audio.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Appreciate the sub, though, Brody. AC Evo's visuals look great until rain happens. It's so crazy. You can tell they just haven't gotten to that yet. Because nighttime looks pretty good here. It's got a little bit of a fog in the air. Anyway, I'm not here to do AC Evo. I just wanted to show you that reference point. Let's jump back over to RaceRoom quick. I'll probably do another hour of RaceRoom unless I get pissed off or some shit, and then I'll jump over to PMR and go over that. But here's the thing though, I'm going to be streaming a league race, Oil Slicks League tonight on PMR, so I'll be getting on earlier tonight for the league, and then doing more custom lobbies in PMR. And then I want to help Sora bug chase. See if he can duplicate any issues, things like that. Are you saying you do or do not like the physics of AC Evo, Rob? Oh, let me see. You saying about Night Race? I actually don't know now that I think about it. Single player. I look forward to this UI being updated because it is just, it's fine, but oh yeah, they don't have nighttime, huh? They do not have nighttime. I did not know that about RaceRoom. Huh. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I'll be right back. Let me get into multiplayer here. First, let me make sure we can get into a race. 22 minutes from now. God damn, man. About weeklies. Nope. Going back to the AI behavior, I keep going back to AC1, and I can honestly say I have the best racing with them. I've never dealt with the AI in AC1. Admittedly, I'll say this. If I'm not fully drawn into a single simulator by, like, November time, I'm going to have to give AC1 a really, really... Because I just don't want to deal with the modding, and that's all that game is, right? I'm lazy. I just want to jump in the game and play it. So in that regard, I'm like, ugh. You probably do, Andre. I don't think they addressed anything like that. Maybe they did it behind the scenes, but in my opinion, the hotfix was just not enough from what I saw, and at least in the I mean, don't get me wrong. The biggest thing, I think, speaking from my experience, this is not other people's problems, but my own experiences, the only thing I saw in the hotfix that I give a shit about is the relative times. If people are still crashing on console, it does suck that the game is console is the dominant player base in PMR right now. And it does seem like right now, at this very juncture, PC is a substantially better experience than console. But then again, I haven't put any real time in there, but I like, oof. I kind of, I'll be honest with you, I want to drive the Mustang. But I really like that fucking goddamn Lamborghini. What are we talking about, Shadow? We're talking about a lot of things, so... Oops. Misclicked the Lambo. Oh, well. It's good. They did a good job with that. This is what kills me. It's not like they don't like Ford, unless they recently had decided to stop liking Fords, but why add 4 cars and change your HUD as, like, this new, like, hey, guys, look how great this update is, and then miss so hard on the Mustang? Let's go, hold on. All right, let's go line on for now. I like hearing the turbos. I don't know, call me a loser. I like hearing the turbos. Hang on. Get the old gloves on, because this wheel will destroy my hands. I haven't had crashes, but consoles are... Are you on console or Shadow, or are you on PC? I haven't had any crashes on console, but I've put in like maybe 30 minutes of gameplay. Oh, here in Turbo, what kind of monster are you? Woo! All right, I gotta slow my roll down here a little bit. I'm driving like a gorilla. Are you on Xbox or PS5, Shadow? Driving like an Altima driver. Hey, what's worse? An Altima driver or a Mustang driver? Altima? Yes, Andre. I would not get the Pro. Pro's outdated in my opinion. The RS50 is the latest and greatest. It's not. It's only 8 Newton meters, but I have one, and I very, very, very much enjoy it. The only other option is go crazy and go with like a, you know, Fanatec 15 plus Newton meter one or something like that. But I personally prefer Logitech over Fanatec as a brand. Even though I think Fanatec's ecosystem is substantially better. If I wanted to buy one base that I knew was going to be reliable and just have it, that's always going to never be a problem, Logitech. But yes, get the RS50. Highly suggest. The Pro is just outdated. It technically has more Newton meters, but it's just built on older tech. Plus, the overall size footprint of the Pro, it's bigger than my 28 Newton meter base. Moza has a fantastic ecosystem. I'm a Simagic and Logitech user, but Moza is right there with Simagic in terms of their ecosystem. They're constantly, you know, evolving, coming up with new ideas. Moza, you can't go wrong with Moza. Can't go wrong with Logitech. But the only way I'll ever try out Moza stuff is, and this is nothing against them of any kind, it's all good stuff, is if they send me shit. Because I'm on Simagic and I'm in this ecosystem and I love it, so there's no reason to switch. Although I do like those Fanatec podium pedals, admittedly. But I can't justify the price because the cost of those podium pedals, I'd rather get 2 Moza M boosters. And then if Simagic ever actually develops their haptic pedals, then I'd rather stay on one ecosystem if it's possible. I would say if you're on Xbox and you're like stuck on Xbox, like that's where you want to stay, Moza's the better way to go over Logitech. That was weird. That was very weird. Because you can buy, because the chip, the registration chip for the license is in the wheel. PlayStation, it's in the base. So essentially you can buy the Xbox wheel that's approved for Xbox and buy, you know, like a 25 Newton meter base from Moza and still have Xbox compliance. Hard to argue with that.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Because Sony puts it in the actual base, you're limited on which bases you can actually run. Spooling, thank you for the sub. Yeah, you know what I hate about sim racing? I'm addicted to the hardware, and the games all piss me off. There is not a single game, in my opinion, that justifies the badassery of all the hardware. They really, the game space just needs to do better. It really does. That's good enough for me. I wish when you quit, it didn't always send you back to the main menu. Like, if I was practicing in a ranked daily race like that, it would throw me back to the daily race menu. All right, we'll chit-chat for now, and we'll wait. We'll chit-chat, and we'll wait. I'll probably do this one race, and then I'll switch over to PMR. And then we'll finish it up on PMR. Moses, a new GT World Series equipment supplier. Was surprised to hear that news. Nice. Moser for you for PCs. Yeah, Moses solid. This literally, I got nothing bad to say. Like, I am a Simagic user. But I'm not one of those people that's going to lie to you and be like, oh, yeah, the brand that, you know, I'm an affiliate with is better than all the rest because I'm affiliated. No, they're all good. I actually think in the sim racing space right now, if you truly... I think the only thing that makes the Simagic Ultra, Evo Ultra wheelbase right now a very, 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 very tough argument to go against is its price. What you get for its price, like, other companies have to lower their prices to compete, in my opinion. But other than that, I don't think there's any garbage in the industry. I'm sure there's small things here and there that are garbage, but I think the competition in the industry in the sim space has gotten so good that you can't go wrong. SimLab just released a 39 Newton meter wheelbase. Yeah, I have 28 and I run mine on 18. I don't know if you guys remember the stream where I played PMR all day at 28 Newton meters, maxed it out in the game, maxed it out on the wheelbase. Dude, I've never been in so much pain from playing a video game in my life. 4 hours of death. Sweating, shoulders burned out, wheelbase was on fire. And that was 28. The only reason I could ever see you wanting 39 Newton meters is you want to simulate getting into a real accident and break your arms. That's it. I have no other justification for that. I don't know why you'd want to do that. It's unnecessary. But it's definitely one of those, like, bigger number, better marketing type things that is clearly a race. Not going to be long before we got 50 Newton meter bases that serve zero purpose. But hey, I got a bigger number over here. We're better. You know? What I care about is what does it feel like at 18 Newton meters and then also at 4 Newton meters? Can you discern in great detail the difference between those? That's what makes a good wheelbase. Can I have this thing fight me to death in a certain scenario and then feel a grain of sand in the gravel? I want all of the detail. Needs its own 20 amp breaker. That's just insane. Imagine telling people you broke your wrist playing a video game. Christ. Got a 1200 horsepower electric motor here at work. I can slap on my rig. You know, I'll say this. I have come off a motorcycle at a decent rate of speed and bounced off the pavement for quite a bit of distance. I can confidently say I've never broken my arms. Or legs. Broken an ankle and broken some ribs. But that's it. I don't want to break my arms in a video game. Imagine you're doing 90 miles an hour and then you are somehow airborne with nothing but your body to catch you on the pavement. Hi. Been there, done that. I'm good. Don't want to hurt myself in my video games. I'm just saying. Rebroke it twice in a month. What the fuck? Okay, I'm more alarmed by breaking it the second time. Because you didn't learn from the first time, you rebroke it. So you had to do it again just to make sure. Did it not heal right the first rebreak? So you had to rebreak it so it would heal correctly? Honestly, like, it sucks. I would have, for me to be, like, truly, truly, truly happy in a sim, like the video game itself, I'd have to combine all sorts of aspects of all of them. And wave a magic fucking wand. It just sucks, man. Like, why? This is not, this, I shouldn't say this is not complicated because I don't do it. I have no idea how to do it. But why does it seem like nobody in the video game space that's making sims has a single clue what they want to do and what their goal is to do? I will say I think that's one good thing. One very, 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 very good thing about LMU. They have picked an area, a direction, and they are sticking to it. And it's working out for them. But this little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of this, I don't know any sim that's doing as good as LMU outside of iRacing, and they got 20-year head start. I mean, not 20 years. 17 years so head start over LMU. So, like, yeah, I understand why iRacing's the king. They've been around the longest. But, like, RaceRoom has been around the second longest. I mean, not the second longest, but they've been around a long time. And, like, nobody plays it. Nobody plays RaceRoom by comparison to these other games. And there is so much more content here than LMU. Content is clearly not what people want, despite constantly saying they want more content. Clearly, AMS2 exists. If content is what you wanted, that's your game. And nobody plays that either. If AMS2 fixes its suspension physics, and by fixes it, I mean adds some, in my opinion, it is the best driving simulator money can buy. The most polished, it's got the most content, it's got fantastic driving, it just doesn't have any suspension. You fix the suspension travel, and by fix, I mean, again, add some. So you can feel weight transfer, you can feel bumps, you can feel like there's actual suspension dampening and not just sitting on the bump stops on all four corners. AMS2 is the best driving simulator. You know? I wouldn't say racing simulator because they don't have ranked. But I would say if right now, if RaceRoom had to pick either AMS2 had to add suspension physics or ranked, I would say they should add suspension physics before ranked. Because I love AMS2. I don't love ranked racing. I like ranked racing. But in my opinion, the most fun I've had in a driving simulator is me being by myself on a track just doing laps. I also feel like I own AMS2. Well, Harry, I think default PMR force feedback is better than default AMS2. I think Daniel Kart's AMS2 force feedback is better than PMR's. But that's a third party. That's like, you know, saying all of the reshades and all that stuff for AC1 done through the modding community, giving credit to Kunos and saying, oh, AC1's better than AC Evo. Well, no, AC Evo is better than AC1 if you rule out all of the modding. That AC1 is the king if you factor in the modding. So, same can be said about the force feedback of AMS2. Force feedback in AMS2 is okay, but Daniel Karts makes it on another level. And that's essentially modding, you know? I've never played AMS2 on a controller. But realistically, the only thing I don't like about AMS2, again, is the lack of suspension. And that's what I like about PMR. PMR, I think, has the most detailed suspension physics of all of these games, period. If you could if you could take PMR's suspension physics and put it directly into AMS2, that's the best driving game. Like, and I don't think anybody could be able to change my mind on that unless another game stepped up and did a better job. But in the current lineup of games we've got, that combination right there would absolutely melt the rest of the video game space. The way I can drive the CLK now in AMS2 is like perfection. But when a 27-person lobby last night, people want to play online, just need some encouragement and structure. Yeah. That's a good point, Jason. That's a good point. That's a good point. Look at all the most successful games out there. They are all games that I would not play outside looking in. Rocket League, Fortnite, etc. They got a gameplay loop. They master the gameplay loop. Boom, people cannot abandon it. It just hooks people. And I understand the hook. I understand the hook. I run 900, Digi. I always keep my in-game wheel 1-to-1 to my actual wheelbase. Because technically force feedback that's the only way force feedback is delivered correctly. LMU has mastered the dopamine spike. They really have. There's so many things that, like, putting everything on a spreadsheet that piss me off about LMU. That's just ultimately not good. But at the end of the day, when I think to myself, and I am not in the sim racing space, I want to jump into some ranked racing. The first thing I go to in my head is LMU, because they've got that dialed in. You're a new RaceRoom player? RaceRoom solid. Yeah, and the great thing about driving a car at the limit, Jason, is you need to be confident that you can go past the limit and save the car. And that's why I don't like iRacing. iRacing's forcing you to stay under the limit, or else it's pure punishment, is stupid, in my opinion. Like, you will never push pace. You will just master the art of getting a little bit faster in learning what you can and can't do in iRacing. But it will never teach you to, like, really push and find the limits of a car. I do not like it. Because you can go past the limit. You're going to slow down. You're not going to be as fast. But you're not just going to... Your tires aren't going to turn into cylinder blocks coated in ice. It's just so stupid. I don't understand it. RaceRoom has a stutter to it that never goes away. It's just a very random, every once in a while stutter. Great frame rate, random stutter. It's not the hardware, it's the game. Everybody has it. Don't know why. I think GT8, I truly believe, like, if Gran Turismo, if Kaz really cares and truly wants to be the best and claim the title that they claim, the true driving simulator, whatever the hell it is, I forgot, the real driving or racing, whatever their quote is. I do believe Kaz and Gran Turismo 7 have the resources to completely destroy the entire industry, both simcade, arcade, and simulation, whatever you want to call it. I believe they have the money and the resources to actually do that. Do I think they ever will? No, because I don't think they care, because money. They've already got money. Why make stuff better when you have money? You keep getting money. Why do work when you can just tell people something and they believe you and make their money anyway? An easy way to tell if something's using an old engine or not is what they're using for anti-aliasing. That's what I've learned. If you don't have FSR or DLSS and you're running, and you don't even have TAA, you're running MSAA, like that's your, like this is an MSAA game. This game does not have TAA. You're running an old game, running an old engine. AMS2, they recently, within the past year, finally got TAA into their game, because again, it was older. And it's not even that old. LMU. They just got, I believe they just got FSR, right? Well, I will say this, Holland. The GT3s specifically in iRacing, the TC absolutely got a buff. Absolutely got a buff. If you crank up the TC on the GT3s in iRacing, you cannot crash the cars. You cannot. I was shocked. Ice cold tires, it doesn't matter. But turn the TC off and then go past the limit. It's typical ice racing. You just immediately lose all grip and you slide and slide and slide. But you turn TC up, you'll just push and push and push and you'll never crash the cars. So they, without a doubt, at some point in one of their updates, they absolutely buffed the TC in the game. Because I'm like, oh, maybe they made the tires better, finally, in iRacing. And then I shut the TC off, and I'm like, nope, you still can't move. They just made the TC work flawlessly. What sucks, though, Mayhem, is that I think a lot of us can agree GT7, from a driving standpoint, is the worst game. It's absolutely terrible. I'm still chasing the fun, had a good time fix that I got with GT7 in any of these games, and I can't get it. It pisses me off. Because then I go back to GT7 on my PS5 and I drive around and I'm like, oh my god, this is awful by comparison to just everything else. Yet, the fun that I had with that game when I was in it, I have yet to duplicate, and it pisses me off. Forza Horizon 6. The driving is so much better than GT7's. It's so... I know it sounds crazy to say, but the driving specifically in Forza Horizon 6 is so much more authentic to driving simulation than GT7. And it gets written off as a pure arcade game. That's how bad GT7's driving actually is. GT7 just made a damn good game. That's all there is to it. I haven't driven the Euro NASCAR stuff, Holland. I've really only spent time in the GT3s in iRacing, and I kind of wish I didn't. I really feel like it put a sour taste in my mouth. I'm also a little butthurt. They're coming out with NASCAR 26 when NASCAR 25 came out and never even, like, did a damn thing. So there's always the question of, oh, look, they're just going to be in that yearly NASCAR 27, NASCAR 28. So that almost assures me that I'm never going to buy those games. I never play a Madden because of the yearly uptick. But yeah, I truly do believe that if Kaz and Polyphony truly wanted to have the best driving simulator and racing simulator money could buy with no questions asked, they are the number one in line to do it. They could easily do it if they wanted to. They have more respect, more resources, more than anything else. And I just don't think they would ever care to do it. How many movies about iRacing are there? How many movies about any of these sims are there? Like, Gran Turismo has escaped the barrier of video games, like a lot of other video game story-driven games. They could easily do it. Easily do it. You would just have to get Kaz and crew to jump on board and be passionate about it. The only thing I think Kaz is passionate about anymore is scanning cars, regardless of what they are, and putting them in the game, you know? Minivans, exactly. I truly believe that Polyphony is one of the few games that Ferrari calls them, and not the other way around. But yeah, Forza Horizon 6. It's unfortunate to say the driving, the one-for-one driving, it's not even comparable how much better Forza Horizon 6 is than GT7. Good luck, have fun. Temerario. Oh my god. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Come on, get going, get going. See, it doesn't matter what game you guys play. That's the great thing about playing all these titles all the time. You think this stuff is all specific to one title. It's all like this. This is just sim racing. I love the turbo sound. This car's got a lot. It's a very pointy car. I do like the way it drives, though, but it is super pointy. Come on, go, go, go. I'm braking late right there. That's what I'm talking about with the whole lack of being able to catch a slide in sim racing. I disagree. The way that just kept sliding and kept sliding and kept sliding and kept sliding and kept sliding. No, as soon as you start to slide like that, Jason, it is completely mute and numb. There's nothing there. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here except for just go along for the ride. Like, if I'm gonna crash, I want to feel it, you know? That guy's driving away from me. Almost did it again. Oh my god. Just take it. I should have chosen the AMG. It's my personal most competitive car in this. I'm not very competitive in RaceRoom at all. It's like a fish out of water whenever I race online, but that's why I got the line on. No, it's not detailed at all. I really wish, like, okay, the HUD's modernized. Can we modernize the force feedback in this game? If this game could finally get some good force feedback, this is like a genuine, like, competitor. But, like, right now, it's like, it just feels like an old game with good visuals, you know? Like, visually, they did a great job when they revamped it last year. Like, it looks beautiful. But, you know, as much as I like visually looking at things that look good, they gotta feel good, too. Also, their rank play in terms of, like, their selections, very rinse and repeat. They have so much content, and they just spam the same shit. I wish they didn't. I really do want to try a force feedback profile. Whichever one Gamer Muscle tried that he recommended for LMU, I do want to try that. This turn right there kills this car. Because that's my biggest pet peeve with LMU is the same kind of force feedback of like, yeah, you can get used to it, but I don't want to get used to it. I just want it to be better. And I'm not even that picky with force feedback. There are way pickier people. I'm like scared of this turn right now. I'm nowhere near optimal racing line in this game. I'm still trying to figure out its physics and force feedback before I really care too much about a line, you know? Yeah, I agree with that one, Art. I agree with that. People still talking about the way GT3's driving PMR and not all the broken shit. That's more important, but can't convince him it's more important. Oh shit. It's so weird when this car loses the rear end, the whole force feedback goes numb. Completely numb. I am very happy with AMS2's new tire model, though. It's like they started finally driving real cars. Now, if only they get the suspension to work like real suspension, damn, that's a good driving experience right there. That's a big part of, like, I feel like with issues with developing video games. I don't think people, like, that make these games ever drive cars. I think it's a big part of why, like, you know, people don't like Aris's GT3s right now. Because the man's driven real cars. Do you ever notice, like, I mean, I know it didn't work out well in the long run, but Ben Collins, for example. Man's got more driving experience than anybody you think is, like, you know, the guy. Same with, like, Misha, right? These guys are drivers. Real life, real car drivers. But in the case of Ben, Ben was too old to get good in a sim. He was worse than me in a sim. Do you think that means I'm better than him in real life? Hell no. That man can drive the wheels off of any car, street car, race car, you name it. Couldn't drive anything in a sim. Well, why is that? Why does nobody ask that question? Fuck that up. Yeah, just take it. You got pace on me. Just go by. I don't care enough. I'm not gonna do another one of these. I probably won't race ranked in this again, honestly. Yeah, but that's the thing. If we're talking about realism, Harry, you shouldn't have to be into video games. If you're good at driving a real car and a simulator's accurate, you should be good in the simulator. If you need to be good at video games to be good in the sim, well, that to me sounds like the sim's not very much of a sim. It sounds like it's a video game. And that's my point. There it goes. When you lose the rear end, the wheel stops working. I don't get it. Dude, I'm getting nothing out of force feedback when driving this. That's the thing. Like, all the movement the car is doing, and the only thing that's changing in the wheel is vibration. Just vibration. There's nothing. The wheel's telling me nothing. It's just vibration. I mean, the shifts are nice and chunky. That's why I, like, absolutely need the line in RaceRoom. I absolutely need it. Because I have to use my eyes to drive the car. My hands are just there. I like the car, though. È temerario. I didn't listen, Harry. To be fair. I don't know what he said. People don't like my opinion on what I think is realistic, so I try to, believe it or not, I try to bite my tongue. What gets me about PMR reviewing right now is, like, so many people say how the cars are too forgiving, and then so many people say that the cars are not forgiving enough and they're too hard to drive. That just goes to show you how there's, like, zero facts and opinions. Which is it? I'm gonna just etch my name right in the sand. Or the stone, whatever. I like the new version of the GT3s and PMR better than they were. Better than they were. And they're harder to drive. They're less forgiving. They're harder to drive. They're slower. I like them better. And for other people, they're not hard enough yet. But a lot of the reference points for what makes proper difficulty, I think, is unrealistically difficult. Like, this, I think, is honestly the same level of forgiveness that PMR has, except I can't feel the cars. PMR delivers great force feedback to tell me what the car... So I can slide the cars around in PMR and control them. This, not a chance in hell I can slide a single car around in this game. You start to slide in this game, your wheel just shuts off, and it vibrates the whole time. That's what it feels like. I very much... Here's the thing. It's so hard to say that about LMU because I've never driven any of those cars. But the way I lose grip in games like LMU make me question my sanity. Well, here's the thing. he likes LMU, Slick. So until PMR drives like LMU, he's never going to like it. That's the reality of that situation. Oh yeah, I can quit this, can't I? You know, and a lot of people are like that. They like the game that they like, and they want the other games to feel like that game. And without any kind of variety, what's the point, you know? All right, I'm done with this. Time to go to PMR for the remainder. See, I disagree, Paul. I have that. I have that exact combo. When's the last time you did a firmware update on your RS50? Everybody, if you have a wheelbase and you are like, I don't know about you guys, but I am always updating everything. Graphic drivers, BIOS, wheelbase drivers, wheel drivers, pedal drivers. Every time I am always looking to make sure my shit's on top of that. Because stuff changes. Windows alone will break shit. And I know that's obviously not a console problem, but... see what we got in ranked right now. What I recommend, my RS50, I don't want to do LMDH. I do not care. I do not like the LMDHs in this game right now. If there's a car that's got to be worked on, it's LMDHs. Everything else is fine. Leave it alone. Fix the game. This is a piss poor time to come into ranked, isn't it? Not much of a Spa fan, but I do love this class. Aris had the LMDH already burnt. That's good. That's good. I mean, as long as it's being worked on by somebody who can't fix bugs. That's my biggest thing. You know? Oh, as far as the RS50, though, in PMR, put gain at in-game settings. Put gain at 100%. Put low force boost at 100%. Put vibration at 100%. Turn your damper in-game to 0. On my wheelbase, on my actual wheelbase, I have the gain and the damper at 100. I'm not sure they have a guy for bug fixing. You could be right. Yeah, me. Except I don't fix it, I just report them. They definitely have a guy for bug creation. Oh, that's funny. Oh, poor Straight 4. Guys, if you are available to play, jump into this race. No, I'm talking with a DD. I run low force boost pretty much off for my Simagic base. For my RS50, it's at 100%. I wish that setting didn't say for non-DD, because I disagree with that sentiment. It works so well on a DD. It's literally the off-center load that you feel. So when you first turn the wheel, which is where all of your slop comes from, when people say cars feel floaty, where there's nothing there, that is quite literally your low force. Low force boost, crank that up, you have so much force feedback right off center. On my RS50, I quite literally, in PMR, have low force boost set to 100%. I haven't had to touch a car yet in the game. All my cars are on default force feedback. Just the gain in the wheelbase, the same way I do it on this. I have yet to find like a car. Now that they have the button finally works where you can see it, Now, all you have to do is just bind your gain, like your actual global gain force feedback, so that if you get to a car that you think has too much, you can just turn the dial, you know? I have it set to 10, which is default. I haven't felt the reason to lower it or raise it. I also turn the dynamic shit off, for what it's worth, Jason. I don't like dynamic. Personally, I don't. A lot of the artificial force feedback stuff I turn off. Just never been a fan. Like, I don't want to feel G-forces through my force feedback. I don't. I really don't. Well, that's the thing, Paul. It's one thing if I can understand that if you're talking about car for car, but every game I've ever played, I've had to set the wheelbase force feedback and then the game's global force feedback. Every single game. GT7, Forza, doesn't matter how arcadey the game is. Every single game, I am setting the game's global force feedback and the wheelbase force feedback. That's standard. I look at the cars as just bonus. Each individual car you can adjust. Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's, you can do it without doing that, Paul. On my PS5, I have my RS50 only set globally, and all of the cars, I look at all the cars, like I said, as a bonus. If you have a specific car that you drive all the time and you really, really, really like, it's just a little bit of extra ability to change that car's force feedback without potentially ruining another car's force feedback with a global setting, you know? I very much like PMR's attempt at giving you all of these force feed. I understand why it can be overwhelming for some people. I personally like it. I like the ability to have a global setting and the individual setting for the car if I really, really, really want to tweak the car to perfection, you know? But you shouldn't have to rely on that, I agree. But so far, me personally, I haven't had to go past adjusting global settings. But for me, a big part of making on at least the RS50 work really good was that low force boost. In almost every game, it says, don't do this if you have a DD, which makes people not do it. I go, fuck your warning. You know? Same way they say, you know, you can't smoke cigarettes and operate heavy machinery. Tell that to everybody operating heavy machinery with a cigarette hanging out their mouth. They do it anyway. And they find out, oh, that's just a warning for dumb people. Although I think, besides the point, cigarettes are dumb, but that's besides the point. Yeah, in my opinion, global should... The great thing about, like, the slider is set it to maximum, and then you can just lower it on the wheel. If, like, for example, for some reason in PMR, I don't know why, globally speaking, and all default on the cars, GT4s have more force feedback than GT3s. Like, it's overall just a stiffer experience. And it should be the opposite, because that's how grip works. The wider your tire with more grip that you actually have, the harder it is to turn those tires. I mean, you could make the argument that everything will squish the overall signal if you don't have enough. Like on an 8 Newton meter peak, if you want to have a lot of force feedback right off center so you can feel it, you are going to narrow that range down. That's just the nature of it, which is where the beauty of like the bigger, higher Newton meter base comes in, you know? But that being said though, on my 8 Newton meter RS50, I don't clip at all with the low force being at 100%. So what does feel like did change with this update for the negative, and there's no way to fix it, is the addition of True Force, and it just being quite literally half of True Force. And it doesn't... The vibration slider could be at 100, and now it has less audio vibration than it did before True Force was in the game. Which, to some people, that's force feedback. Not, it's audio controlled, but I get it. Because like an ACC or GT7, if I have True Force maxed out and I'm getting all the True Force, and then I just shut it off, I feel like my wheel doesn't work anymore. and it's just vibration. Whereas in what I was complaining about in RaceRoom was that only thing I feel is that vibration, but I don't actually feel the controlling of the car through the force feedback. I just feel vibration. You know? Eight people. Good enough. I'll probably, after this race, if nothing good in ranked pops up, I'll probably do a custom lobby. Just to make sure. I want to make sure the relatives work. That's the biggest thing for at least what I was experiencing. Relatives made racing just stupid. How far is somebody behind me? I don't know. Let me look in my rearview mirror, because that's the only way I could tell. Relatives didn't work. They should be fixed now, though, according to the patch notes, so... Andre, Sebring is my my go-to for customs. Sebring's my test track. Whenever I have to test physics, whenever I have to test anything in this game, or any other game really, Sebring is my go-to. I think Sebring's the absolute best track for testing. It throws a lot of different situations at you in a very small circuit. You know? I believe that if you find a good setup in a car for Sebring, outside of like Spa and Daytona, or maybe Monza, you have a setup for every track in the game. The only thing you might benefit from in changing the setup from Sebring is top speed type stuff. I very much am a fan of Sebring. This is a ranked race, but Grumps, after this ranked race, I'm going to do some customs, and you're more than welcome to. Oh, see, right away we got real force feedback. God damn it, RaceRoom. I want to love RaceRoom. I really do. The plan MT is I'm doing a league race early tonight, and then right after the league race I'm going to jump into doing my own customs again, so... It won't be every night. I can't. My body will not allow me to play this many video games this often and live the rest of my life. So I can either do like 3 and 3, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, both morning and evening, or the other option is I do only morning streams, Monday through Friday, and then I do just the league race on Tuesday. And obviously, it's not an actual work schedule, so I can technically stream whenever I feel like it. But for the sake of not wanting to get burned out, I do have to moderate that a little bit. See, what kills me is that I love this driving. And it's what... RaceRoom? I'm sorry, RaceRoom's a better game. And then I drive the cars. And I'm like, nope, PMR drives better. You might not like PMR, because you might like... I've learned this. If you like LMU, you don't like PMR. And vice versa. The driving specifically, I mean. I personally think PMR drives more like a real car. And that's why I like the driving so much. I don't care what professional that's getting paid and sponsored by who says what. I do not care. None of that means anything to me. All that matters is my real world experience, and this is the same for you guys. You should only ever listen to your real world experience over somebody else's. Putting all of your faith in somebody else's opinion for facts is just, it's bad. Trust me. Even if you want to believe me, you shouldn't. But just know, I believe me, and that's all I care about. If I spent my whole life learning 2 + 2 = 4, there's not a single person who's going to tell me 2 + 2 = 5. It's just not going to happen. And the same should be for you. That being said, play what you like. If you like LMU, then you should play LMU. 100%. If iRacing's your jam, I race. If PMR's your jam... But the last thing I want is this game to turn into the way LMU drives. Because then I just don't want to play this either. That would have spun me out. Alright, all I wanted was a single lap posting. I don't care how slow or fast it was. Just so I can do my fuel. Alright, so 7 laps. Go 7.5 gallons, play it safe. It's probably a mistake. I shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna anyway. Again, though, the devs are trying to work it out with NVIDIA, but they don't have a fix yet, so don't expect it anytime soon. There is a visual bug in this game with newer drivers on an NVIDIA graphics card. It will break shadows. I remember Matt mentioned it in the Discord, and I replied to him. A bunch of other people are having the problem. You have to backdate your NVIDIA drivers. Oof, I don't know if I'm going to like this rear wing. I'm too erratic of a driver, and I'm not good enough on Spa to where the little bit of acceleration I'm going to gain potentially in a straight line, I kind of want that wing back. Eagles is going to dominate this. I hate it. I'm not going to take any chances. It's not going to matter for me. All right, so let's see what the poll says. It went about how I expected so far. 90 votes. Will we ever get a finished simulator? 16% say yes, 51% say no, and 33% say real cars are never finished. That's how I know who the car guys are. That's what that one was there for. So technically, the game is simulating a project car perfectly. Really, Eagles? Going with the Maserati, huh? Interesting. Maybe he's onto something. I am not a Maserati fan. I mean, in video games. I think they're badass cars, but... Eagles is fast. Eagles is just fast. I'm dog shit on Spa. Spa's like arguably one of my worst tracks. I don't know what it is about Spa. It doesn't intrigue me enough for me to like want to like really spend real time on it and get good at it. So I just do it when in a situation like this for entertainment purposes. But I don't really care much for Spa to ever really care about being fast on it. I'll do just enough. If this game ever gets to a state where I give a shit about like ranking and how good I am, then maybe I'll put in more time. But for now, why Eagles? What car were you in? Oh, you're in the Lambo. Never mind then. It showed you in the Maserati. There you go, Eagles. Oh, but you're definitely in the... That's so weird. EJR shirt. I'm dog shit on Spa. Yeah, Eau Rouge. Dude, there's so many weird bugs. So many weird bugs. Guys, like, I know people want cars and stuff like this and content, and I feel like we really collectively, no one person, collectively, we need to push them to realize that the bugs are what's killing. I mean, you got to determine this. Do they want more players or do they want to please their current players? In my opinion, you get more players by pleasing the current players. The Netflix mentality doesn't work. It doesn't work even for Netflix. Only measuring the metrics based off of how many new users came, not how many people watched. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still want the future DLCs. I'm not saying don't do those. But, like, outside of DLCs, we really need to tighten it up. Sure, I'd love to see rolling starts and more features, but I don't want a single more feature until we get bugs crossed off the list. Eagles is gone already. Gone. I think there's something stuck under my throttle. I think I got like a screwdriver or a butt plug or something stuck under my throttle foot. It's not going down all the way. That's the problem. The fact that I can't see eagles anymore is insane. But here we go, though. We're coming up to the finish line. Yay. Is the relative going to continue to work? That's the question. Hey, we got a bug fix. We got a bug fix, boys. The hell? Eagles, did you run through the pit? Oh my god. I hate Spa. Once you know you're going to get a track limit in Eau Rouge, just commit. Commit to the track limit and just get some speed out of it. I don't know if I got 6 more laps in me of this. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna get into the customs. I'm good. I have no interest in Spa. I just don't like Spa. Yeah, I get into customs. Unfortunately, I'm just not... I hate... When I see a race on... Like, even in any game, it's not a PMR thing. It's an any game thing. When I see a ranked race in Spa... Monza, I'm just like, hey, look, it's the same fucking 3 tracks in the history of sim racing, just regurgitated over and over. They're not fun tracks. There's so many good tracks in this game, and we gotta drive on Spa. Blech. All right, we had some good fun with GT and GT3 last night, so let's get that going. 6 laps, 10-minute quality, get people in. Cinematic. Hot weather, so there's no ugly clouds. Want to add any other classes, or... I was so close to passing. I know, right? I almost had him. I literally was, Brian O'Connor right there. Good enough for now. One thing I want to see right now is if we have the issue that I figured out last night. And by the way, as soon as I figured it out, I told Sora. He didn't know. He's going to look into it. About the reason why the races are taking so long to finish is because normally before, at the end of a race, the last person on track, once they crossed the finish line, that ended the race. And then it would start the countdown, the 30-second countdown for the lobby end. Now, it takes, and this is not by design, by the way, this is an actual problem. Now, the last player on track immediately triggers the AI to take over the car, and now the AI has to do a full lap and then pit. It was happening for Jester this morning. Well, sick. I guess we'll see in this. Because like that's... So, for example, the biggest problem with that is Nords. If you do roughly an 8-minute lap time on Nords, the AI cruising at part throttle, that's like a 12-minute lap. Essentially, if you do a race on Nords, you got to force close the game because the AI's got to do a full lap. That can't happen. That's the type of shit that cannot happen. You know? What's the qualifying issue, MT? Guys, join up in the lobby. A couple of you asked. Here I am. Sitting chilly by myself in the lobby. Oh, never mind. Michel joined and left, or left and no, yeah, he joined. We had one guy join and one guy leave. Come on in. Guess we'll find out, MT. Andre, where you at? You wanted a, Sebring race? But yeah, I wasn't expecting that bug to be fixed in this hotfix, considering I told Sora about it last night, and he didn't know. So, there's no way it was going to be in the hotfix. Unless it was someone else found it, but, you know. Whoa! Goodbye. Amateur hour over here. Well, that's for starters. Let's put that back. I gotta resave this setup. Give me that rear wing. I knew there was something missing there. Can absolutely feel the one rear wing click in this car. Look how good Join in Progress is, though, man. The lobby just fills right up. It's so good. Here I am, all excited about having a basic feature. That's what I'm talking about, though, is sim racing. It's crazy, the one click on the rear wing, how it feels. Car is so much more stable. That spun us out last time. That same level of entry. Also, if you guys are in the lobby and you're in my chat and you experience a disconnect or a bug or whatever the hell it is, please say it, so I know what's happening. Because if you guys don't ever say anything and nothing ever appears on my screen, I don't know, you know? Oh shit, no, don't move. Alright, good enough for government work. No qualifying times yet, huh? Only Grumps has got a qualifying time and he's not in my class. Oh, my bad, Eagles. Jump in the next one. Yeah, I got to lap 2 of Spa, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this for 7 laps. It sucks. I'm so uninterested in Spa. I wish I liked Spa. I really do, because it's a super popular track, and a lot of people like it. It's just so boring. It's right there with Monza. They're just boring tracks. Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna see. Let's see if he gets qualifying time. Oh, that was almost impact. Hey, finally a qualifying time. Eagles, that's called intimidation, sir. You got the respect. Take a piss quick.
Unbelievable driving, mate. That's P1. P1.
All right, here we go. Yeah, five gallons is fine.
Come on, mate. You know what to do. Keep them behind you.
Everybody grid right? Plus, Eagles, I don't want you in here yet. I need to have one shot at winning a race. And then you can join. That's my daily rule of thumb. Eagles can't join till I win at least one race. And then he can come on in. Because once he joins, I'm never winning a race again. Get that HUD off. Full immersion. I don't know how people don't like driving cars in this game. I really don't. I feel like it's weird. I feel like such an outcast by liking this game. Yes and no, priceless. I'm enjoying this more, for whatever that's worth. They, in my opinion, they butchered the Mustang. Mustang is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It is what it is. Maybe they'll give it an audio buff and stuff like that later, but it's because it's Simcade. Well, my only experience before all these games was playing around with real cars. And I've been struggling to find a driving experience in a video game that reminds me of a real car. And then we have this game. And AMS2's new driving physics are that much better than they were. And guess what? They also made it easier. I did one ranked race in RaceRoom. It was alright, wasn't bad. It's just my issue with RaceRoom in that experience was the force feedback. I just can't feel what the car's doing. Yeah, PMR gets shit on by everybody. By all the major people who... I don't have anything in common with anybody who likes sim races. I really don't. As a human being, and I'm okay with that. I have access to every title. I have them all. This is the one that gives me the most fun, the most authentic driving experience, even with all of the bullshit that comes with it. No professional race car driver, nobody else is going to tell me that any of my experience, for me, is irrelevant to my own opinion. And by that I mean, I've experienced the things that I've experienced, and I relate my video games to that experience. And this is the most honest. Not the popular sim racing titles. And if that pisses people off, then so be it. I really don't care. This game has fantastic driving. And if the developers listen to the simulator masses and make this game drive like other sims, it's just going to be another shitty sim title that I don't play. That's the reality of it. Go back to playing Call of Duty or something if that's the case, and playing with real cars, because I hope this game always keeps this charm that it has. I really do. I really, really do. Because this is just such a good time when it comes to the driving. No pedal shutdown so far, that's good. If they fixed anything with force feedback or controls, it was not in the hotfix notes. Admittedly, the hotfix notes are... They could have just put "you figure it out" in there, and it would have been the same amount of information. They mentioned the relative bug being fixed, and it is fixed. So, at least from a pure racing standpoint, that bug that was, in my opinion, very, very, very jarring is now fixed. So, the only other title right now that I'm holding out for, in hopes that maybe one day it'll be what I want it to be, is AC Evo. But if all of these titles end up being horrible, I guess I'm picking up AC1 and becoming an AC1 fan. I don't want to have to mod a game to enjoy a game, but if that's what I gotta do, you know. I just refuse to bend the knee to the masses and be like, oh, LMU or iRacing, those are the only two authentic. No, they're not. It's not. They're just not. They got so much work to do in their driving physics to make them feel authentic. That's true, Andre. It's like, it's one of those things where it's tough right now with PMR. PMR does have a lot of problems, but a lot of the time it is also the user. But at the same time, you're really towing the line of victim blaming, you know? It'd be one thing if this game truly was flawless and somebody was having a problem with it. But it's got so many problems, it's very hard for people to admit that what they're doing could potentially be the problem. As of right now, my same two titles, my top two titles remain the same. PMR and AMS2. I know the game's flaws. They have them, but they're my top two titles for driving experience. Yeah, you don't own shit in iRacing. I don't know how anybody defends that metric of it. There's things that are good in iRacing, but the financial side of it, I don't think anybody should defend that. You're just bending the knee.
Okay, mate, final lap now. Keep your head down and let's get this race on.
That was shit. Spa GT3? Hell no, Glauco. I'd rather go cut the grass. I'd rather be a productive member of society than play another GT3 race on Spa ever again in the history of my life. Yes, Hambone. Relatives are fixed. We're going to inspect to see if the, I know it's not fixed. The, lobby ending. So basically what I gotta do here is watch. Once I finish the race, we have to wait and see how the race ends. So I have to quit though. Hold on, so I gotta retire. So now that I've retired, it sucks to do that, but it is what it is. It's the only way I can get to spectating, full spectating. All right, so the last place, hold on, last place is Johnny B, right? So Johnny B, when he crosses the finish line, normally that would trigger the end of the session. And it would start the 30-second countdown before it goes back to menu. But all that does... Let's watch. This car, once it switches over and he crosses the finish line, it's going to switch over to AI taking the control as normal, but now the AI has to do a full another lap and then pit to move the session along. Oh. Made his own line, at least. So let's watch. Watch closely. Alright, watch. As soon as he crosses the finish line, it is not going to trigger the end of the session. At least that was the bug. Alright, he crossed the finish line. The session has not ended. This car is now being controlled by the AI. And it will have to do a full another lap and then drive into the pits. The second the last AI-controlled car crosses the beam or the line for the pits, the session will end. You can tell it's the AI driving right now. Gas brake, gas brake, gas brake. So you can imagine how long this would take on Nords to end a session. It's not by design, Ash. It's a bug. I pointed this out to Sora last night. So that's how and he didn't know. So that's how I know it did not make the hotfix. Oh, he just quit. He just got sick and tired of waiting. All right, let's go to the next last place car. I'm guessing it's not letting me watch. All right, so I guess this is the last car. So let's pay attention. Says he's in first. Alright, he's actually not, though. It's definitely the Audi. That's the last... Wait. Yeah, let's watch the Audi. Yeah. This car has to go in the pit. Unless he quits. Like the last guy that was in last place right there. He quit. He left the lobby. So it just deleted his car. So this guy's still in here. He's waiting. He's staring at the driving screen of the AI, and he's looking at his standings right now. That's what he sees. Okay, maybe it wasn't, but when these cars went into the pit right here, that triggered the end of the session, so maybe it wasn't that car. Oh, yeah, never mind. I apologize. That was the Gabriel car. It was the wrong car. So it was this BMW that triggered the end of the session coming into the pits. It's so weird, man. Either way, the AI cars have to do a full lap to end the session. That needs to get fixed. That absolutely needs to get fixed. Turn down quality to 5 minutes. Bump laps up to 8. Yeah, they gotta fix that bug, or else it's gonna just Yeah. Yeah, Andre, I'll do it after this race again, just to keep it somewhat fresh. And honestly, that'll probably be my last race after that. Because, like I said, I'm getting back on again tonight for the league, and then some open lobbies, so. Only a lap. Night rain. But yeah, I'm not sure the exact time I'm going to get on tonight. My goal was to get on around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do this. We're going to do, like I said, I'm going to do the one league race. I'm probably going to be miserable at it, because I'm just going to go into it blind and hope for the best. I'm going to commit to the Mercedes, the AMG, because I think it's the most balanced car, and without a setup in the Mustang, I don't think the Mustang's where it's at. The Mustang's the car I want to drive, but go safety first for the first league. Floppy! It's hard to argue with the AMG. It's just been consistently balanced and good in the game. You know? And if you like the AMG and ACC, it's got substantially more grip than the ACC variant, so it just seems like a solid, safe choice to go with. And that's what I need, the safe choice. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out by RaceRoom, honestly. That game just carries no momentum. You know, as much as it seems like this game doesn't have players, it doesn't feel like that. From a relativity standpoint, RaceRoom feels like a smaller game. Whoa! That's one way to... Too slow? I can see why it's too slow. Slides around. Oh, Ash, it sounds awful. It sounds completely... It's the worst Mustang in all of sim racing so far. And that's saying something, because there's some bad renditions of it. Like, I was really hoping they were going to knock it out of the park, because they crushed the old Ford GT. The best thing I can say about the new RaceRoom update is the new HUD. That's about it. That's the only thing that's like a fully positive win, in my opinion. Everything else has aspects of missing, you know? Especially the Mustang. The Mustang's the worst. Yeah, the 90s DTMs sound fantastic. They just, I don't know. I thought because of they've crushed all the Fords in the game so far, that the GT3 would be parallel to the AC Evo car. The AC Evo car is just so good. It's the perfect car for, like, the Mustang GT3. Like, Kunos, for all they've been wishy-washy on with AC Evo, they 100% did their work on the Mustang GT3. RaceRoom just went generic. Just went full-on commitment to generic. Fuck. Oil Slicks League. Road America tonight. Yeah, that's the only thing you can hope right now, Ash. Is the server upgrades are good too, Matt. That's the only thing you can really hope for right now is that it's a placeholder audio. Because the audio is butt. It's just butt. Well, even still, though, there's no force feedback in that game. Nothing that actually helps you drive anyway. There's resistance, and there's vibrations, but when force feedback happens, it just... When I start to lose control of the car in RaceRoom, I have no clue how to fight it. I might as well be on a joystick, on a controller. RaceRoom could be so good. It could be the fucking perfect sim. But I don't think any of these sims are ever going to be perfect. I think they're all going to have their own special ways of being broken. Or incomplete, not so much broken.
Take some of those cars off the line.
The new HUD is one big credit to RaceRoom on the new HUD. It looks like it's like genuine 4K plus resolution and not some gross, like even AMS2, their new HUD is low resolution. And it's like, this is your new HUD and it's, you know, I mean, this game, their HUD's okay. It's mix and match. Some of it's high res, some of it's low res. Like the map right now is higher resolution right now, the dynamic map. But on Nords, it's super low resolution, and it's the same thing. So... the new RaceRoom HUD, good job there. The new Mustang, the polar opposite. And everything else is kind of like right there in the middle. Craig's got some pretty good pace, too. I gotta work on that section. The problem with the GTs, and it's not really a problem, but it can like make you drive poorly, is that they're very easy to control in the slide, which I like, but they make you kind of drive like an asshole. And which of course slows you down. I have to say, I think the Murcielago is the meta for this class, man. Because whenever I lose, I mean, I'm losing to fast guys too, obviously. But like, it's always the Murcielago that's at the top. Always. Admittedly, I'm a little faster in the C6 than this. But I've been kind of getting into driving the Aston a bit. It's a fun car. And I'm right there in the middle of the pack with nobody around me. This might actually have to be my last race looking at the time. I got on late today. That was ugly. That was ugly. So far of the two bugs that I've looked into, one of them is fixed. I can't speak to any of the crashing because I don't have those problems. You know? Hopefully the grid is more reliable now, because that was something that was part of the actual client-side fix. Generalized gridding, so maybe that'll be better. Going off way. But chat, there's a bunch of you here in the chat and in the lobby that are on console. Has anybody had disconnects or crashes in the session? I would like to know. Because if you guys don't tell me and I don't crash, I can't complain about other people's potential problems, you know? I need some kind of replicating. I mean, I do have PlayStation and a wheel. I could test on that, but I just don't have the time. I'm not a developer. I'm just a guy playing video games. Ah. Come on, I know I got 114s in this car. Pull yourself together, Evan. Pull yourself together.
Final lap.
All right, last lap.
Still the island.
Whoa! Already off to a fantastic start. Do you guys like seeing the animated wheel on or off? On average. I like racing with it off, but I do feel like from a visual standpoint, it does look a little strange for like viewers. $112.4 Eagles. Eat my ass. Let's see, Murcielago's at the top. Murcielago's at the top. Good job, Craig. Good job, Eagles. Going on, Kenobi. And yeah, this is not going to end now. We're going to do this loop until everybody's car on track joins into the pits. This is the bug that is not fixed. PS5, no disconnect, no crashes, and no pedal shutdown so far. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. All right, see how the AI is pulling into the pits right now? Everybody's car on track has to do this for the session to end. When before it was the last person on track, that actual player, when they cross the finish line.
Stuff, that's P3, mate. Good job out there today.
I don't know which AI car is, because it doesn't seem like it's the last AI car. I thought it was the last AI car. But there's no doubt something weird going on there. Yesterday you were crashing every time you got into a lobby. 100% today, no issues. That's good. Yeah, I agree. From an immersion standpoint, Art, I don't like them. All right, guys, that is my last race. I do have to get off here. I have to go be an adult. Anyway, folks. Quick summary of the day. We tried out RaceRoom update, and we tried out the PMR update. RaceRoom, my quick summary is that the new dash is really good. I really like it. The new Mustang was the main reason I bought the DLC, and it sucks. Temerario is decent. The Aston's decent. But yeah, I don't know. Good, positive, but I don't know. RaceRoom, I get turned off by RaceRoom for the most unfortunate things because it's been around for so long, like its force feedback and things like that. Lack of control of the cars from the force feedback. Anyway, PMR update was just a small hotfix, tiny little hotfix. So far, it fixed one of the bugs that you experience every race. The relative is fixed. That's good because we got a league race tonight. It'll be nice to have that. But yeah, a lot of bug fixing left to do. Let's keep pushing them. Focus the bugs. Focus the bugs. Keep hammering those bugs. But anyway, folks, that's it for me. I'll be back in about roughly 5 hours. Roughly 5 hours time to get ready for the league race. And then after the league race, I'm going to be doing some open lobbies like we were just doing again. Have a little bit more fun. And then I might need a bit of a break. Either way, I'll see you guys in a few hours. Until then, y'all be safe and have a good rest of your day.